Good afternoon, everybody. We're here today to talk about Bill Carey, and we sort of thought it would be fun to do this like an episode of The View. But then we found out that we couldn't have wine, and we said, nix that. So we're just going to play it straight. Bill has had an absolutely extraordinary career here at the Journal News. If you have not been here 25 years, as he has, you probably didn't know that Bill actually started on the copy desk under Holly Flieger. From there, he became a reporter in New Rochelle, working for Phil Reisman, who was in charge of the Sound Shore Bureau, which at the time, to talk about local, had 35 reporters. Bill worked his way up the ranks, ultimately taking Phil's job, and then jumped to Harrison, where he became the Metro editor. After a stint in news, Bill saw the light and a chance to jump to features and decided to join us in the dark side as an editor of our new product for the luxury market called Flair. And Bill could not really believe how much he enjoyed working in features after all those dreary years in news with all those meetings. At one point he said he had 5 meetings every Tuesday and 5 meetings every Wednesday. We, of course, never had meetings. We had perhaps more drama than he was accustomed to, but Bill
He
just fit right in. He was a natural. So when Flair folded, Bill made a further leap, recognizing that, in fact, it's way more fun to be a reporter than an editor, especially in the features department.
Yes.
And decided to take on his role, being our go-to home and garden writer. And that's a role he holds today. But the point I would like to make that many people may not know is that Bill is just an extraordinarily accomplished journalist. He's jumped in anywhere we need him, including for stints on the copy desk and to write editorials for the edit board. He's been absolutely wonderful to work with. It's been an honor, and I would say a privilege to have him on our team.
Well, I was going to say that when he came to features, he was working on topics that he was already passionate about. Food and gardening and furnishings and homes. And when he first started, he was my boss.
That's
and
right.
It was really good for me as a young writer to have someone as smart and conscientious as Bill, really paying attention to the accuracy and details in a story. And he really taught me about the economy of words. And around the same time, he and his partner Derek bought a home in upstate New York. And
Yes, they did.
And he was starting a new chapter of his life at the same time here at the paper as the garden writer. At the same time, they were starting that chapter, and readers kind of learned along with him as he tended those 8 acres upstate. And it wasn't long after that Bill and I traded positions, and I became his boss. And it was such a joy to watch his writing become more polished, and even more polished as he made the transition from the news guy to the features guy, and really became one of the most accomplished features writers, or any writer,
That we have.
in the newsroom.
That's pretty great. And as Mary and Liz have already said, Bill's gone from being on the copy desk to covering cops to covering news to covering features. And about a little more than a year and a half ago, he came to work for me when we were launching Living Here. And Bill was an integral part of that startup, and his contributions really have made that section a go-to place for readers and for visitors on LoHUD.com. And Bill has had a story on a fantastical house appearing that week when the views on LoHUD skyrocket. So we know Bill's doing his job. He's also been an early adapter in a lot of ways. Bill was one of the very first people to get out there and shoot videos with his iPhones, which helped him to win the contest for best video.
With an iPad.
With an iPad. He also was one of the very first people to have a blog, and his In the Garden blog has a very ardent following. So much so that his garden coverage recently won him an award from the Native Plant Center. He won the Acorn Award this year, and just so everybody's aware, the winner last year was Martha Stewart. So Bill is in really good company. I always like to say the 2 things you need in a garden are annuals and perennials. The annuals are the showstoppers, those like pushy little items that need care and attention, but they're here and they're gone. Perennials, on the other hand, are the stalwarts of the garden. They're there for you year after year, showing their brilliance. And that's really how we view Bill Carey.
Oh, Karen, that is so nice and so true.
What a good ending.
Let's end it on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're off now?
Congratulations, Bill. Are we off?
We're off.
Are we
All
off?
right.
Oh, cheers, Bill.
Cheers, Bill.
Cheers, Bill.